Hello my friends, Luke here with 2,500 points of Vampire Counts and Ogre Kingdoms today. My brother-in-law's in town for like 10 days, so we'll get some good Warhammer games in. He didn't bring his armies, he rocks Lizardmen and High Elves normally, but I've got some Ogres and he's always wanted to try them. So he's going to try the bulky might of the Ogre Kingdoms, and I'm going to answer back with some Vampire Counts because I've been still itching to play them. Now, I should give the caveat that my brother-in-law has never played Ogres. I want to stress that again. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? And I will be merciless. That's what I've decided. So we have my wife set up the board. She generates terrain, and of course, she's more concerned about beauty. So we have this nasty frickin' river in the middle of 3 forests out here, and we throw down a bridge. She didn't like that because it made it look ugly, but we were unhappy with the fact there was a river here. Turns out it's a river of light. And in terms of deployment, I can talk about, I started throwing stuff on the left to try to do that refused flank. You know, I had an infantry vampire counts list. I'm going to have to go in one spot. And I decided to go on the right over here so that he would have to funnel toward me. But the first few drops did get his Stonehorn down, and he's going to be way away from his general, so that's good. Once I played my general, he decided to leave the Stonehorn over there on its own. I'm probably not going to be able to take it out, and it probably won't help in the battle, but he wanted to come at my points as opposed to having to cross that river and just let me be where I wanted to be. So we go to his lines. He's got a Stonehorn, like I said, and it's way out here, so it's probably not going to join into the battle. He's got 4 Lead Belchers, which I absolutely love Lead Belchers. He's got an Iron Blaster in the back, a group of Iron Guts with a level 4 Slaughtermaster rocking the lore of Beasts, then a level 1 Butcher just to pay the Butcher tax so that you can pick a lore on your Lord. Then he's got 4 Lead Belchers. A second group of them. Then he's got a second group of Iron Guts, and he's got his BSB in there, and a group of 3 Mournfang. I answer back with an infantry list, so I've got a Horde of Graveguard, 35 strong, with a White King BSB in there. The White King's rocking the Night Shroud, because that's a pretty good item, I like it. Then I got a Corpse Cart right in between them, and a Mortis Engine. So my hope is that Mortis Engine has the Reliquary upgrade, so I'll be casting with a +2 anything with the Lore of Vampires nearby. My hope is to get off some bubble spells, so I give ASF to my Graveguard and my Ghouls. At least that's a hope. I didn't have a second Mortis Engine, so I didn't rock a Twin Towers list, but I think the Corpse Cart has a good spot in here. It's slow as hell, but if I can get a couple spells off, Van Hell's it right up. So in my, I've got a group of 2 Fellbats as well, because I think they're amazing chaff. Then I've got my Horde of Ghouls. I've got a Strigoi Ghoul King in there, so he's a level 1 on Lore of Vampires. Then I have a level 4 Necromancer on the Lore of Vampires. And I have, I decided to try Death on level 1. So I'm going to give him Spirit Leech, but it takes so many dice to get the dang thing off. I don't really think I like it. Then, as part of the weird flank deployment stuff that we tried earlier, I threw Hex Wraiths in the Forest. I think those guys might have a good place in this list, because they're hard to get rid of, hard to shoot, and hopefully I can get in the way. Then I got a Spirit Host as well for the same thing. 30 zombies, another group of 30 zombies, and 5 Direwolves. When it comes to spells, my level 4 knows Invocation, Van Hell's Curse of Years and Raise Dead. My Lord, the Strigoi Ghoul King, knows Hellish Vigor as a level 1, and Spirit Leech on the level 1 caster. His level 4 knows Wiston's Wild Form, Savage Beast, Amber Spear, and Pan's Pelt. And then he has Toothcracker on his level 1. So we go to Vanguard movement. I see an opening, and I Vanguard my dogs so that he's going to have to pass a Leader 7 Frenzy check or charge, and I'm far enough away that without Swift Stride, that's not going to be easy. Go to Ogre's turn 1, and that's exactly what happens. He has to charge because he fails, and no Swift Stride on the Stonehorn. That sucks. That thing needs to have Swift Stride. That's its biggest downfall, if you ask me. So on his movement, he moves his Lead Belchers over so that he doesn't have to. He can just shoot the dogs and not have this happen again. Everyone else just moves up my side. He doesn't move up a ton. You know, he's still kind of. He knows he's got a lot of movement. And he doesn't want to make it easy for me. So we're just doing that Mexican standoff. During movement, though, he goes into the forest that does dangerous terrain, takes 2 wounds. Go to Magic Phase, it's 10 dice to 5. He throws a juiced up Amber Spear on the Mortis Engine. And I don't want to lose it right away. That's a second cannon shot. So I throw my Dispel Scroll. He rolled pretty high. So, yeah, it sucks to lose a Dispel Scroll right away, but I think it's worth it. If this thing's gonna do anything for me, I better protect it. Then I just use my last dice to dispel, juice up Toothcrackers to deny him from getting tough all up on me. During shooting, yeah, it's like 18 shots, blow away the dogs. Then he gets like 21 shots on the Ghouls, only kills 5, but still, whew, those guys can put out a lot of shots. A cannon goes into the Mortis engine on a line that'll clip the corpse cart, and my necromancer, my level 1 on death, and only hits the Mortis engine, but does wound it 4 times, and I fail my regen, so that sucks. But it's only got 1 wound left, but hopefully in my phase I can heal it back up a bit. We go to Vampires, turn 1. I see a nice juicy charge into his lead belchers, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go through the River of Light, I'll get a great buff, and I'll, at least tie them up and deny his lines from going where he wants. And if I get in, excuse me, I'm going to be out of the charge arc of those guts on on my right side there. But I roll 3 1s with Swift Stride, so you just have to kind of laugh about that. Zombies are not in the range of the general, so that doesn't. It only makes sense to try to charge. You'll stumble forward about the same you'd move anyway. I don't roll the long distance to get in the flank there. That would have been fun. Otherwise, I don't move up a ton. I move up a little bit. The corpse cart moves up its maximum 4 inches, which is nothing. But then everyone else moves up just enough, so I feel that he might get a couple charges in, but not everything. It's certainly not guaranteed. We'll see what happens, but I'm just kind of holding my lines. I fly the bats up to do what I can to chaff up the Mornfang. Now, I can only get that close, and if I get Van Hells off, maybe I can move them around to make it a better of a chaff job. I think where it is now, he'll be able to close the door such that he could, on a really long overrun, clip into my Graveguard. But I'm still okay with that because I want my Graveguard in on those Mornfang. That's the only thing I have that can take him out, so let's do it. I think that's all really to note on this page. Oh, the other thing, like a dick, I turn my Mortis engine sideways to make it harder for his cannon to shoot. If you're going to bring a cannon, you got to deal with it. I just don't care. The Spirit Host moves on to the bridge. I don't really want it to hit. I just felt like he would blow himself up if he went through the River of Light. The zombies head toward the bridge. We go to Magic. It's 9 dice to 4. I get 2 channels off of my 3 casters, which is awesome. I throw 4 dice at Spirit Leech on the BSB, and he stops it with 3. And this is when I realized, yeah, I got a level 1. It takes like 3 or 4 dice to get it off. No, it's not worth it on a level 1, so I'm probably not going to do that again. So the BSB's fine, but he only has like 1 die left or something. I cast a 2-die Raise Dead, which is awesome because now my guy's a level 6 caster with the Mortis engine, so that's pretty great. Raise up some dead here just to chaff it up. Hopefully I can heal them up a little more and just mess up his line so that he'll have to go in with both groups. We'll see. Invocation, I try for that on 2 die, the huge bubble, and I get it off, but he throws his Dispel Scroll. He doesn't want me growing those zombies up. He doesn't want me healing the Mortis engine, and it sucks to have to throw your Dispel Scroll on a 2-die BS spell like that, but I think it was the right call. It would really suck here to have me, getting some massive casting bonus off and healing up that Mortis engine when he thinks it's the big, he sees it as a big threat, and he might not be wrong. So with 1 die, I am able to cast Van Hells, not the bubble version, but I get it off on the Hex Wraiths and move them up right to the river. So now I've got, if he wants to go in, I might get a flank charge on someone against those zombies. So yeah, I'm feeling really happy about that magic phase. Here's just an end of the turn shot just to show how close we actually are from perspective. We go to Ogres turn 2. This is before the charges. He's going in on the bats and hoping for a long overrun on the Mornfang. He's sending both groups in on the zombies. I think he just wants to overrun the lead belchers and then get them out of the way. That's what he's hoping for. Let's see, what page are we on here? The charge is resolved. He gets 1 wound to dangerous terrain that actually kills one of the Iron Guts completely now. So that's nice. The terrain is winning the game. His Stone Horn moves up toward the fight since he has no one to kind of make him all frenzied. The Iron Blaster moves up right to the edge of the woods. I'm sorry, the Lead Belchers move up. The Iron Blaster moves up so that it can get the nice position it needs to do the same type of shot again. His big block just shimmies a little bit so it gets line of sight for direct damage spells to whoever it wants. And we go to Magic. He gets it's 11 dice to 7, so it's a big phase for him. He tries casting the juiced up Amber Spear on the Mortis engine, gets it off. Irresistible Force. Son of a bitch. Hits, does the wounds, boom, it blows up. Now, it blows up everyone in like 12 inches, I think is what it is, at 2d6 hits at the strength of the turn. It's only turn 2, so it's not that bad. I kill 1 wound on the Lead Belchers, 2 wounds on the Iron Guts, 3 wounds on the zombies, 2 wounds on the ghouls, and 1 wound on the bat. So it's a little bit of explosion, but now I lose that plus juiciness to cast. I'm not going to have the pulsing for the regen or the damage. That's very, very sad on my part. I missed that Mortis Engine already. But on the miscast, he rolls a 4, and he gets sucked into the void after blowing up 2 full Iron Guts, I believe. So that's awesome. That's actually a good trade. I'll take that all day long, because the Mortis Engine just giving a +1 regen is nice. The +2 to cast is great. But if I can get rid of his level 4, that costs more, yeah, I will do that. So that sucks for him, but when you throw 6 dice at a spell, that's what you're going to have happen. Or close to 6 dice. Then he throws his remaining 5 dice at... what did he throw it at? Oh, Toothcracker. That was all he had left. Gets a miscast again. And so everyone's got juiced up toughness. I don't think the Mournfang... Yeah, the Mournfang do also have the juiced up toughness. Wait. No, I don't think they do. I don't have it written down in my notes, and I'm just trying to guess from that picture. I don't think the Mournfang have the toughness. Not like they really need it. And then he miscasts, loses his 1 level on his Butcher, and that's it. No more magic for him for the rest of the game. So that's actually pretty great. His Lead Belchers blow up a couple zombies, just about 3 of them. His cannon takes aim at the corpse cart and misfires, blowing up just the barrel. So it's still a chariot that can be dangerous later, but thankfully I don't have to worry about it. Well, I mean, corpse cart's really the only target it's going to keep shooting at anyway. So this is like the turn of miscasts and misfires for him. The zombies die, and so he needed a 7, the average roll, to overrun and get out of the way of his guts, and he rolled a 6, which sucks. Continuing his bad luck this turn, gets a 6, so now he's blocking up his dudes. He won't be able to clear them and get a charge in on my ghouls if he wants, but he just opened it up so I can get on him. The Mournfang, like you would expect, blow up the bats, and what he's looking for is I believe he needed a 9 on 3d6 to get into the Graveguard. And then he gets some impact hits, and then, you know, that's still a scary target to go in on, but at least he gets the impact hits, and he rolls an 8. Continuing the bad luck once again. Now look where the Graveguard are. Now he wanted to get in on them because he would have had all those wonderful impact hits. He probably would have done all the damage. Yeah, the Mournfang wouldn't have survived, but, well, it's not likely they would survive, I feel. But, you know what, he wants to get that target. He wants to soften that target up, get him nice and juicy. And, you know, it was 50-50. And in both these cases here, these 50-50s just failed for him. And we had a big discussion about it. I'm like, you might not want to declare the overrun because it could be so bad if you fail. And he's like, nah, we want to live both. We're ogres. And unfortunately, it didn't go his way. And now I am just going to capitalize on that. So a whole bunch of luck coming my way this game. The zombies get a long charge into the Lead Belchers, so I'll just tie them up, hopefully. Did I have it? Sorry, just looking at my notes. The Spirit Host gets a long charge over the bridge, and the Hex Race make their charge, this time going through the river, getting speed of light as they... Or no, time warp as they do, which is awesome, because now they're going to get more attacks. And Hex Race are good, but they just flub all the time. So just having double the amount of attacks will be very nice. Hopefully, I can tie them up or totally break them and run them down. I would like that a lot. Ghouls get into the flank of the Lead Belchers, as you can see here. I'm just going to get in the flank and overrun, but that is a long distance, so I don't remember exactly how long it is. Well, it's basically the length of 4 Lead Belchers, but I have to roll decently to get in there. Otherwise, he's going to get a charge off on me, which is what he wants. And then you can see on the right, my Graveguard go right into the flank of the Mournfang. I'm going to just love this. This is going to be great. And I also have the Night Shroud on my BSB, so that's going to deny the dude up top and his strength bonus. Corpse Cart putters around as much as it can, but it can barely keep up. Just get it in range, but I think it gets in there. If I remember correctly, it gets so it's within range for both. During Magic, it's 5 dice to 4, so he doesn't have any casters, but I don't have much of a phase here, and I don't have the... You know, I've got a level 4 to his level 0, so that's not bad. Not that bad, but I wanted more dice. I guess the rich want to get richer. I throw 3 dice at the Bubble Invocation of Heck, which would give ASF to everyone and heal up a couple people, and he stops at throwing all 4 of his dice on it. Even with level 0, he just got a great roll, so that worked out well for him. With 2 die left, I get Hellish Vigor off on the Graveguard. I couldn't really bubble anything that was going to do anything. I couldn't bubble anything and make a casting value that would hit the corpse cart and give ASF, so I just settled for re-rolling wounds on the grave guard. Corpse cart, just maybe it can help out next turn. He does 2 wounds from the Mournfang in close combat here, just the Mournfang itself, the mount. Like I said, I have the Night Shroud, so he's just strength 4 up top. I do 17 wounds to him. And that's including the BSB, but I've got my great weapons. And he has great weapons on his Mournfang, so he only has a 3-up armor save. That's when we had a discussion. I said, you know what, you've never played him before, but I don't think great weapons is the way to go on them. I think you should go the extra armor save, get up to a 2-up armor save, because their strength is in the impact hits anyway. So for the next time he's going to run it, he'll remember that. But I kill them just to a Mournfang and reform. In close combat, the Vampire Lord does just a bunch of wounds right away. Ghouls do also quite a few. The 2 remaining break, and I run. I can't catch them. They bounce through their guys, but I roll high enough to get into his Iron Guts. So now both of his Gut Stars are tied up. One side up with Ethereals that I'm either going to win, or he's just going to be stuck at the rest of the game because he doesn't have any magic. And now I've got one of the decent choppy blocks right into those, and I've gotten rid of the Mournfang. So this is a great series of turns for me, and a bad run for the first run of the Ogres. This is really tough for my brother-in-law. The Hexwraiths go in, and even with Time Warp, they still suck. You cannot make these guys work. I get 1 hit out of all those. The horses also land 1 hit. The Spirit Host completely whiffs, because that's what they do as well. But with combat res and no general, but he does have a BSB, I break him. My Spirit Host runs him down. The Hexwraiths just kind of don't make it. So that's where we are. He loses that 1 group, and again, more luck on my side. Bad luck, but with the combat res, it was great. Over here, I crumble by 1 after he does a bunch, but that's fine. I got him locked down. We go to Ogre's turn 3. His Chariot-only Iron Blaster comes into the flank of the Hexwraith, so I've got 3 attacks to throw back at him. Otherwise, I'll probably crumble only by 2. So if I can reform, I'll stick around. Otherwise, he'll be tied up. The pain of the Stonehorn. He has to declare a charge on the zombies. He couldn't actually see the zombies that were closer to him because the lead belchers are too wide. So he has to declare on the other zombies after failing a frenzy test, and without Swift Stride, doesn't make it in, so he just putters forward. That thing is just painful sometimes. With no magical right to close combat, now it's on his turn. He loses his +1 toughness, and I score a ton of poison wounds and no other hits. 12 runes come in from the ghouls. He saves 3 of them, so he only takes 9. I kill only 3 from the Lord, even with his Red Fury ASF. I just didn't do well. He kills my Necromancer, scoring a couple of wounds, and then swings a bunch back. I don't remember what the numbers were, but I end up losing combat by 1, believe it or not. So that's crazy with the stomps. Just not a good showing, but hey, the BSB's nearby, so I even mitigate that crumble, and I got to get someone in to help him. But I'm still not too worried about it. If he gets lucky and throws some hits at my Lord, that could be bad, but otherwise I got this game in the bag, I'm feeling, even when I flub like that. You can see up here, I took 2 wounds on the Hexwraith just from combat res. I flubbed, but with the general's leadership nearby and being ethereal, thanks to a couple people pointing that out in my last battle report, I don't have to use the modified leadership because I'm unbreakable. I can just reform at my normal leadership. Thanks for the general being nearby, so they reform and we're good. Vampire counts turn 3. I can't charge because I couldn't reform to get those guys out of base to base. You see, I'm hanging over too much. I tried to reform last turn, but with the rule you can't take a guy out of combat, I couldn't make room. So I just moved the corpse guard over, moved the grave guard up so that next turn I can charge if I want, or you could. I forgot to mention, but he rallied his lead belchers there, so I'll probably take a couple shots at some point, but I'm not worried about it. Just get him where I need to go. I fail a charge into the Stonehorn, but the zombies stick around in close combat there on this turn. Over here, the card was still out, but they don't have Time Warp. It's a push. Nothing happens. Don't do any wounds to him. In Magic, I'm unable to get Hellish Vigor off bubbled. I failed by 1, and pretty much threw most of my dice at it. I think maybe all my dice at it. I don't remember what it was, but I tried to bubble it, getting a little greedy, and didn't get it off. In close combat, however, I kill all but 1 in the BSB, and break them. BSB dies immediately. I don't run him down, but I do get in the flank the Lead Belchers, and that's a painful end of the game. So there was some bad luck on his part and some bad choice. You know, we talked about this for a while. He really wanted to play aggressive, so he made those charges that he made those calls to overrun instead of reform that he said he shouldn't have done. He wanted to do it at the time. We talked about the pluses and minuses, but you know, if it's a 50-50, you know, you got to be okay with what happens on the downside. In the case of the Mornfang, it was just way too, in my opinion, it was way too dangerous to fail. I mean, it would be nice to get in, get those impact hits. That's what they're there for. But, I mean, unless you were okay with losing those 3 Mornfang and you had the Iron Blasters freed up to come in on the side, or I'm sorry, the Iron Guts free to come in on the side, it was just going to be a nightmare. And that's what happened. The luck went my way in this one. He got sucked in the Warp on his caster and lost the other one. That sucks. But he wasn't disheartened. We wanted to do a second game, and it was only 12:30 at night, so we got Game 2 coming. Almost the same exact army list. I'll get that up for you soon. Thanks for watching, guys.